is Sanjay Parihar. I'm a technologist from Houston, Texas. And as we mentioned that we are going to bring some notable faces from tour and travel industry. Here we are with Mr. Shelley Thayil. Thank you for joining the show. And
Yes, good to have you here.
he is the CEO of Paul John Resorts and Hotel. And we have very interesting question and interesting things to discuss with him about COVID-19 and about his very great interesting hotel chain hotels. In this discussion, Mr. Rohit has also joined us. Thank you for joining, Mr. Rohit.
Yeah, hi, thank you.
So now coming back to the question, Mr. Cheryl, this is all about COVID-19. We are going with this COVID-19 phenomena, which is once in 100 years, or I don't know, so this leaves us for special preparation across the board when it comes to hotel and resorts, right? And I'm sure our viewers are very interested to hear that. What are those special measurements has been taken, or been planned, or been on the target on your side? Please
as we all know, it's been a as you said, once in a century kind of an episode, and has caught us everyone in the travel industry by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no other option but to live with it, and to see how we can make the situation better for all our guests, and for them to be able to feel safe, and when they're coming on a holiday, the safety should be the least of their worries.
Mm-hmm.
So as a group of hotels, we have taken very conscious and very concrete decisions on how to move forward, and what we are going to be doing, and what we have already done, etc. So there's nobody can say for sure when the travel industry is going to pick up, and when people will travel freely, but we have to be ready, right? So we have taken our necessary precautions at the moment. As usual, they say social distancing is the key.
Right.
Social distancing and practicing various hygiene standards is going to be the key importance. We have already had very high standards of hygiene, but now we have taken it a couple of notches higher.
Mm-hmm.
So we can I can start I can list them out of what all we have already done, and what we are going to do.
Yeah, please.
But for example, now the first thing would be sanitization of the premises. So
Right.
it has been very helpful these last 2 months when we have been on a virtual lockdown. To go deep cleaning into every nook and corner of the hotel, sanitizing, disinfecting, cleaning, training of the staff. That is a very big thing. So there have been constant daily training classes online, either through Zoom or through Microsoft Teams. We have been training our teams on various cleaning practices.
Mm-hmm.
We have procured all the necessary personal protection equipment, such as masks, gloves, face shields, the PPE gown wherein they wear if at all they have to be handling a positive guest who is or an associate. It's not only the guest who can be positive; it can be one of our associates also. So how emergency drills in case of such instances. All SOPs have been written, and we have been training. We are training them at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to the hotel per se, particular. Let us say the room is going to be the most important place,
Right,
for the guests to be staying in. So we have a certain SOP on how a room is going to be cleaned, and how a check-in is going to happen, and how while the guest is staying in that, how the housekeeping and how the staff will interact with him. So coming to the room, we have identified the key 15, 20 areas which need deep cleaning and deep disinfection all times.
Right.
That has been taken care of, right from your switches to your remote controls, to your telephone, to your TV remote, to the air conditioning, the thermostat. All those points have been kind of identified, and will be given extra sanitation.
Mm-hmm.
The one very important thing is we have taken a conscious decision that no room will be, allotted to a guest after the previous checkout for at least 12 hours, so that, we are not expecting very high occupancies, for the next, I think, 18 months.
Right.
Everybody's hesitating to talk about it, but let's be frank, I don't see, us reaching 80-90% occupancies in the next 12 to 18 months. So we can comfortably, not give a room after the last checkout for at least 12 to 18 hours, and the room, once it is cleaned, will be sealed, and there will be a hotel seal on that saying that this room is cleaned and disinfected, and for your use. So that is going to be a very reassuring factor to our guests. That would be one. And then the vehicles in which they will be traveling, they will be, after every pickup and drop, they will be sanitized. The driver himself will be wearing a face mask, gloves. There will be a sanitation. There will be the alcohol-based sanitizers in the car. There will be a face mask and gloves for the guest in case he requires to, he feels comfortable to wear it. Those kind of things. And after every pickup or a drop to a client, the guest will be, the vehicles will be sanitized from all the high touch points, like steering wheel, the door handles, the AC controls, those kind of things. Of course, when a guest is being picked up, with the permission of the guest, the driver will be equipped with a spray to kind of sanitize his baggage also before it's put into the car. These are all precautionary measures which we are taking. Hospitality and these measures are kind of, always, don't go hand in hand. But fortunately, this is something which, for the safety of the guests and for the safety of the staff, we will have to ensure these kind of measures. And then the other standard protocols, such as very minimal number of check-ins happening at a time at the desk. The guests who are waiting for check-in will be seated in the lobby, and we will obviously be getting a self-declaration from all guests, on whether they have been in contact with COVID patients, or they have been they are coming from a high-risk area, and those kind of things. Contactless check-in, we will obviously be getting all the mandatory identification cards, passport details well in advance. So we will minimize the time taken at the front desk, and as far as possible, once the room is ready, escort the guest as soon as he comes into the hotel to his room, so that there is minimal contact in the lobby, and he's taken to his room immediately, which he has an option to, he has the room which is sanitized and sealed, and then he gets into it. Now, coming to once he's there, see the hotel, unlike other places like an airport or something, he is coming there to enjoy the facilities. He's coming there to have a good time. So, how the next point is, how do we able to make him comfortable and relax and have a good time and enjoy, while he is, holidaying with us. So obviously F&B plays a big role. All our restaurants, we will have 3 restaurants over there. So how do we maintain social distancing? So the number of people, the number of tables has been reduced to already about 50%. So there is adequate space between tables. If it's a large family, we will encourage them to be in a kind of a private dining area. Obviously, people will be more, that's another point to be noted, people will be more comfortable traveling with people whom they know or whom they are in close contact with. So family travel, we see, is going to be a big, big segment for us, and there'll be a big uptake over there. So as far as possible, please keep, we will be keeping people with people whom they know and at a distance from others. Of course, buffets will be a no for now. For breakfast, we kind of have a cold buffet, a lot of live stations, so there's no crowding and people can come and pick up. The service staff will be trained, not really, they are already being trained on how to give efficient service with minimum communication. But that's going to be a tough part, because imagine a waiter with a mask and gloves. You're not able to make out whether he's smiling or not, but that is something which we will have to live with, at least for the next 18 to 24 months, is in my opinion.
Right, right,
And
right.
then, so that's how we will build on it, and then see if any new protocols come. We will obviously see safety of our guests. We have, as a company, taken a conscious decision: safety of our guests and safety of our associates, our staff.
Mm-hmm,
These are
mm-hmm.
the two top priorities. So whatever needs to be done is going to be, executed to the hilt.
Right, right. Great. I mean, like you mentioned, I mean, the safety of the tourists is one of the most important thing, and for that, technology, process, everything has to be adopted to get to that goal. And yeah, yeah. And thank you for sharing that detailed plan. Now, another question which is coming in my mind, and especially when it comes to Kumarakom Hotel Resorts, I mean, a lot of celebrities been part of that.
Yep.
And recently, Prince Charles were there as well. Was there? The family Prince Charles were there as well, right?
Not
Um,
recently. They were there with us a few years back. Yeah.
few years back, yeah, yeah. So few years back. And how was that experience? I mean, overall, with him there,
It
yeah.
was an amazing experience to have royalty stay with us, and
Uh,
to be able to cater to his requirements was a
mhm.
huge task. And the team and the managers were able to live up to the expectations, and they had a fantastic time. He was in fact celebrating his 65th birthday with us.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. And like his team, his crews, and everything is there. Then that has to be served
Yeah,
properly
the
with
best part is
security.
they were one of the guests. Security was to a minimal. They were
Yeah.
mingling with the other guests, though they
Oh,
had a
wow.
separate section with them, and he and his crew had a separate area of the hotel reserved for them.
Hmm.
But there was no discomfort or
Wow.
no big reshuffling to be done for the other guests. They were all as normal, and the hotel was operating as would be on a normal day.
It's definitely very interesting to serve the dynasty there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But it was a big privilege to host him, and
absolutely.
to have him have him stay in a destination. We were more happy that he chose a destination like Kumarakom, because that popularizes the destination, and
Absolutely.
encourages people to visit Kerala and visit the backwaters.
Right, right, right. True. And that opens up the question for the location of the hotel. Tell us more about the location of the hotel.
Yeah, Kumarakom Lake Resort is located right in the heart of the backwaters. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
backwaters is one of the most pristine and beautiful parts
Mm-hmm.
of Kerala, wherein
Mm-hmm.
you just forget about your hectic city life,
Mm-hmm.
and come back and enjoy nature, be part of nature, enjoy the excellent food
Mm-hmm.
Kerala has to provide, and of course Ayurveda. We have a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic Ayurvedic spa, so you could uh, you know take you could partake of various relaxation and rejuvenation therapies at the resort.
Right.
And an ideal we have various programs, as if you're interested in Ayurveda, for
Mm-hmm.
about 7 nights or even 14 nights and 21 nights. But
Mm-hmm.
if you want to come for a short holiday for 3 to 4 nights, the ideal location, you could do a houseboat cruise and cruise in the backwaters. You could you could do a canal cruise where you can go into the small villages and see life of people how living around, in the backwaters.
Wow. Wow. And tell us more about the rooms and facilities overall.
See, Kumarakom Lake Resort is more of a heritage resort,
Yeah.
but along with heritage, we have given an ample dose of luxury. So
Mm-hmm.
we are most of our 59 cottages are all heritage cottages. Means they are more than 100 years old, which have been relocated from various plots
Mm-hmm.
and rebuilt as traditional Kerala houses.
Mm-hmm.
So people, when they stay in there, unlike any five-star deluxe hotel wherein
Mm-hmm.
they all look almost similar, the cottages, the rooms or the villas in Kumarakom Lake Resort, are very traditionally styled. So you would have an authentic Kerala experience
Mm-hmm.
while you're staying there. You can the houses, the flooring, the roofs, the walls, all of wood. And then we have open to the sky bathrooms. Wherein you are and there's that's the way people lived in the olden houses. So,
Houses, right? Yeah.
and then we have a very interesting section of rooms called the meandering pool villas.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is built to replicate the backwaters. So it's a 300-meter long pool which meanders across, and we have about 32 cottages around them. And from your bedroom, you can straight away walk into the room. So it's a very good experience, and a very popular category of rooms for all our guests.
Wow. Wow.
And most of our rooms have a water body. So the heritage rooms, the heritage cottages all have a private pool also inside. With a jacuzzi. So there is an ample dose of luxury. At the same time, you're experiencing a traditional authentic Kerala experience.
Wow. And that is that's what people, tourists want to experience, basically.
That's what nowadays it's all experiential. So people want to experience something. They don't. They want, and believe me, it's a once in a lifetime experience, and a lot of people keep coming back. Not only international, we have our domestic guests also who just come, domestic travelers who just come for just unwind for 3 to 4 nights, and go back.
I would certainly imagine so. I mean, this is, especially when you combine with backwaters and everything else. Rohit, it's amazing, right?
Yeah, it's quite amazing. In fact, I was going through the details of the Kumarakom Lake Resort and realized that lots of people, of course, that's a beautiful resort, and they choose because of the nice food. The cuisine is really interesting there, and lots of people have been appreciating the chef there, and they have been preparing the food as per the choice of the people. So it would be great to hear more about like the chef and the cuisine there.
Yeah, our kitchen brigade, our kitchen staff have been with us for almost I would say right from number 18. The average our kitchen brigade has been with us for the last 18 to 20 years.
My God,
and the chef has also been with us. Who has started, has grown with us, and he is now heading the kitchen brigade over there. He's also been with us for close to about 15 years. So they know by experience the preferences of guests. Being an international, having guests from all over the world and the country, so they have a proper mix of. They know how to plan the menus, keeping food taste and food likes in mind. But we definitely have a large focus on the local cuisine, on Kerala. Kerala cuisine is, in fact, the Kerala breakfast is rated as one of the top 20 best breakfasts in the world, by National Geographic. So, it has been quoted by National Geographic. So, especially the breakfast, they have a huge variety of Kerala food. Apart from the international preferences of the guests, of how an international breakfast buffet would be. You have humongous choices to choose from, and the same goes for lunch and dinner also. So we have a healthy mix of Kerala as well as regional Indian food as well as international cuisine.
That's great. In fact, another point to add with the cuisine, like you have a couple of culinary show program as well. I don't know whether it's possible now, but normally I've seen like the guests can come and join the hands in kitchen cooking.
We have a cooking classes and demonstration, but it is all time permitting. But we do a couple of cookery shows. If you're in a group and you're interested, or if you offer collectively a guest, decide, or even if there is just a couple who wants to learn a particular dish, we do cooking classes for them, and then along with on one day, and then they do it themselves, and then we give them the recipes, and they can buy the cookery booklet also from our store in the resort. And if you're a group, and we do a lot of Ayurveda cooking also. So people want how to cook, what is healthy and what follows the Ayurveda system. So we have cooking demos for that also. So there's a lot of participation by the guests, and they can decide on what they want to eat. So we don't restrict them that you can't eat this or you can't eat that or you should not do this. We just leave the choice to them, but we help them make a healthy choice. If they're there on an Ayurveda program, but if they're there on a relaxation holiday, we don't want to restrict them as terms as what they're eating or not. So they can learn to cook whatever they wish.
In fact, I was just going through your last point where you mentioned like the large family might be traveling because they want to go travel with the known people, and might be they choose for the longer duration to stay at one place. So we are assuming the family is traveling, and when the family is traveling, the kids should be there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what is there for the kids within the resort and in the area nearby?
Yeah. Now again, as I was saying, we focus a lot on giving them the traditional local experience. So as a resort, we don't encourage those kind of video games and the activities for the kids. But we have a lot of traditional things where they can learn pottery. We have an excellent pottery house in the property, where and potter who will teach the kids on how to make stuff, flower vases, um, pots, small cooking utensils, or certain showpieces also, which they can make, and then if they're there, they can bake it in the oven and then take it back with them. So that's a very popular. Even with adults, it's very popular because the feeling of molding mud and the sensation in your hands is supposed to be very therapeutic also.
Yeah.
That is one. Then we of course encourage fishing, in the lake and in the backwaters. How they would use a country rod and try and bait the fish, and if they have either unhook the fish and send it back into the waters, and things like that. Then we have cycling activity. We do yoga, and we teach everybody yoga every morning. So so these kind of activities. Then there's screw pine weaving. There's a local leaf which is used for weaving mats and things like that. So how to do that?
Wow.
We have a tutor in place, and they are taught over that. And the various we have a cultural program every evening, and before the cultural program starts, there's a lot of makeup which happens. So we get the people involved, the kids involved in that also, to see so there's a little bit of culture also. And we are also very much involved in responsible tourism in Kumarakom. Kumarakom is a known destination for responsible tourism.
Yes.
So we take them to the local village. They can either cycle and go there, and then see various activity in the village, like toddy tapping.
Yeah.
A person climbs up the tree and then taps the toddy. And then they can also have a lunch with the family. So unlike various, these are very out of the box and but very interesting, and once a guest does it, he's so much impressed and he feels so good about it that they want to do it again.
Wow.
In fact, like not to miss, like the one can go for the cruising on the backwater. That's a great experience.
That is a very popular and a very scenic thing. The Canal Cruise, the cruising on the houseboat in the backwaters. That is an experience which you must do. It's a must-do thing. But apart from that, go in a small canoe, which is not motor-driven but hand or rowed, and you go into the small canals and you observe life. You observe the greenery. You observe the birds. As I was saying earlier, it is something which you leave the cities and you come back to just be with nature.
I think there's one bird sanctuary as well in Kumarakom.
Yeah. The Kumarakom is a bird sanctuary originally.
Bird sanctuary, yes, right.
Wow.
That's lovely.
And now when coming up about the corporate travelers, I'm being in corporate for a long time here in the United States, and the group activities are one of the most important thing when it comes to these activities, right? So tell us more about corporate travelers and business travelers. How
corporate travelers to Kumarakom would be basically for conferences.
Yeah.
Not for. Oops.
Yeah.
Corporate travel is basically conference, but in the post-COVID era, we don't know how we're still in the wait and watch phase. We don't know how frequently conferences will happen, or how often people will travel in groups.
Right.
But there will be limitations on the number. But Kumarakom has always been a very popular destination for conferences. We do at least a couple of them every month, large numbers. And we try and encourage them to take the whole resort. But now going forward, we have done very high-profile board meetings also. So that is the kind of business we would be looking at. Corporate travel would be, as far as the resort destinations are concerned, would be in groups only.
And when it comes to another interesting point, which is not going to happen just post COVID-19, maybe wedding, right?
Weddings.
Yeah, weddings are another. I mean, Kumarakom is another popular destination for the wedding, right?
Destination weddings are a big business and very popular.
Yeah,
especially from non-residents, non-resident Indians.
Yeah,
and
yes.
Even in the Indian diaspora, they are it's quite popular. But I believe there are restrictions on the number of people for a wedding. So let us see how things pan out. We are very well equipped to handle the weddings of any size, but as usual, we will have to take care of the social distancing issues and make sure everybody is safe and at the same time has a good time.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, like add to that point here, Sanjay.
Yeah.
And now the weddings are going to be limited with the numbers. Like it will not be a large ceremony at it used to be. Now I was talking to a couple of people and realized like they are going to choose some a big place. I mean, like big place in the sense big brand, and this which has got this small place where the only family can be accommodated. So this way looks like a hotel which has a not large number of inventory, but a very unique marriage will be quite popular now. What do you say, Mr. Shelley, on that?
Sorry, if you could just repeat your question again, yeah.
I say like I was talking to a few people who are in the event management for the wedding, and they are mentioning that now the large number of gathering will not happen in marriage. So boutique resorts which has a unique and USP will be chosen as a preferred choice for many of the big families.
So, yeah, but right, even before oh my God. 1 second, I just blocked the door and come.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. So even before the COVID, Kumarakom is always a boutique resort. So that has been our USP. So we have been selling their destination weddings to most of our guests, and wherein they do a buyout. You book the whole resort. It's a small resort, 55 rooms. You can and in any wedding in India with about 150 the guests is considered small. So but now we will have to see how the numbers pan out in terms of weddings and stuff like that. So.
Great. So while we are about to wrap up our call, Michelle, is there anything else you want to mention about Kumarakom Lake Resort?
Yeah, no. Just to reiterate the fact that we have placing along with our hospitality, there is extra care and attention on safety, cleanliness, and sanitization of the premises and every touch point of the guest and the staff. And that our priority will be to take care of the safety of our guests at the moment and reassure them that they can come and holiday with us with absolute peace of mind.
Great. So with that thought, thank you very much for joining.